my goal when I sat down to play this was to just get her to a point where she got a promotion at work. So some of it might be a little boring. Like right now, where she's sleeping. Anyway, so the meters are pretty familiar. Bladder, hunger, energy, fun, social. She's not having enough fun.
Still with the Simlish, I see.
Yeah, and then it's a little different. Like there's a little bit of a different approach to moodlets in this one. Got things like tents that are influenced by either events or, again, the fact that she hasn't had enough fun. And then you have desires that depend on that particular mood that she's in right now that you can get sort of accomplishment points for that you can use later on to get things.
What kind of things?
Like being able to learn skills faster, or not have to sleep, or just different things like that. And the ones that depend on the moodlet are the ones on the far left. That's the color of that moodlet. So right now the orange tents, and the one that's tied into that is the one where it wants her to shower.
Oh, so that's why she's taking a shower after talking to herself in the mirror in her underwear.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
I don't have a bathtub, so I got rid of that one. They all have a little X. You can cycle through them.
Okay. So what are the little bubbles above her head again?
Those are her wants right now, that if I fulfill any of them, she'll get some of those points for.
She broke her shower.
She did. She does that a lot.
How does she... Yes.
Okay, alright, so this sim is a psycho, apparently.
Yeah, well, she's uncomfortable from her shitty bed.
Yeah.
Oh, she's fixing the shower.
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
Oh, she's a do-it-yourselfer.
Yeah, exactly.
All of my sims are do-it-yourselfers.
Very cool.
Have been for years.
I don't think she's properly dressed for the task, though.
No, not really. Also, and I guess she doesn't have very high fixing it skill, so it takes her longer.
Yeah. So I sped through it.
But you could hire somebody, right? You could call...
I could, but I want to increase her skills, so I'd rather do that and make her spend a while on that than spend $50 on a repair guy. And she's really low on fun.
I totally understand.
Yeah, she's just doing a bunch of housework, and she's bummed out completely.
And, like, it wants her to vent to somebody, and nobody's around, so I think she was trying
Been a poo. What?
I'm not...
Well, just go to the bathroom then you'll feel a whole lot better, I'm telling you. So this is one of your first playthroughs in Sims 4?
But she's... I had played it once or twice with this character before I did this.
Is this your first Sims 4 character?
Yes.
Did you do this? Did you create her in Create a Sim first?
I actually made her before Sims came out in the Create a Sim demo that they pushed out.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
So, did you have any trouble getting it imported over?
What? Yeah, I don't even remember what I ended up doing to import her over, but yeah, it was not all that straightforward.
You have to like upload it or something to the community or something like that before you can download it back to your game.
Oh, so you can actually import from game to game?
No. This was a Create a Sims tool that was released just prior to.
You can share Sims that you create on the community for other people to download.
Well, but he's talking about from like 3 to 4.
Oh,
you couldn't do
no.
But from 4 to 4.
No, they
and 3
pushed
to 3,
out the Sims 4 Create a Sim so that you could start working on making Sims before the actual game came out.
And she's talking about you can share Sims with other people, so that you can.
Yeah, like if you make an especially unique looking Sim, and you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that little bar at the top, I realized it later, not while I was playing this, but that little on the right.
Yeah.
And that's a sun, so like you can change what time of day it is within build mode.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
And build mode and buy mode in Sims 4 are together.
Okay.
They're not separate things anymore, which makes a lot of sense.
So
clearly she has Amazon Prime because she got those chairs instantly.
Instantly, yeah. Instant cherry.
I used the eyedropper tool, I just copied the ones she had at her dining table.
Oh, well, that's nifty.
Cool.
I didn't. Yeah, so I played Sims back in the day.
Yeah,
like
well,
in
they
2.
had the eyedropper tool in Sims 3. I can't remember if they did in
Right.
Sims 2. Though.
Yeah, well, I skipped 3. I played a bunch of 2. And Amir, you haven't played any.
No.
Like
I
an
played like an
hour.
hour of 3, I think, or maybe 2.
Yeah.
No, it was 2 probably.
Back in the day.
Where there are load screens between place to place.
I don't remember enough.
Oh,
to
okay.
say. I just know that like I had a fire in the kitchen and like I killed my sim. That's all I remember.
Nice.
Well, it's fun to do that on purpose.
Oh.
What?
You save it, and then you kill the sim, and then you quit out without saving. Just, find different ways to kill them. You would be surprised how many Sims players do that.
I don't doubt it.
Like in Sims 2, there was no way for the sim to get out of a pool without that little ladder. So you could make them go in, go into build mode and take the ladder out and swim until they died.
Or the traditional build a wall around them until they starve to death.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is a really gruesome sim.
I did that too. Yeah.
Well, you could do that.
This is why violence is necessary in video games. It's so that if you have a peaceful game, you don't start getting creative about the violence you want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and the camera mode, you can
you.
change the camera mode if you're used to Sims 3 stuff. It used to be that if you zoomed out, it would just like go in a straight line. It wouldn't like curve in front of their face. It's interesting. I didn't like it at first, but I think I'm getting used to it.
Do you like it more or less than Sims 3?
It's hard to tell.
Because you're wearing a Sims 3 shirt, not a Sims 4 shirt. So is that
I
indicative
am.
of
Our
your...
viewers cannot see that. No, well, that's indicative of the fact that I came here to talk about Sims, and this is the only Sims shirt I have.
All right. Okay. So you're really kind of on the fence.
So the first disappointment is that they didn't give you a Sims 4 shirt.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
I like both of them.
You should go to EA's forums and complain right now.
So the one thing that one could see as a positive or a negative is the fact that they brought load screens back. Between...
Amir,
No, you don't understand what would happen in Sims 3. You had this entire town that you could go walk around, drive around, whatever, without any load screens.
That's great.
Sounds awesome. But the thing is, over time, as your sim became more complex, as you put more items on their lot, as they got more friends, as the program had to start handling more and more calculations, it had to do that whole town at once, and it would stutter, or it just would crash like crazy. So I think part of the reason they brought the load screens back is to make it a better experience, as weird as that sounds. And these load screens so far have not seemed to be as long as the Sims 2 load screens were. So I think they've found a good middle ground there.
What is that because you have an SSD now and you didn't when Sims 2 was out?
Possibly. I didn't think about that.
Because we're not talking about like even on Sims 3. I think you were playing with.
Oh wait. So a moment ago, I looked at all the people that I could call. Something interesting about this is that when you tell it to show all the people you know, it doesn't actually show you all the people you've ever met.
Oh.
For some reason, if you're not in touch with them for a while, or your relationship with them has degraded enough, they just kind of disappear from there. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Oh, and you have particular interactions that you have depending on your mood. So she's confident right now. They're all color-coded with the little blue marker on the side, because they're confident.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It wants me to show off my muscles to someone right now.
What?
You see?
You've been working out?
I guess. No, it's because I'm confident. It doesn't matter if I'm working out.
What country are they in?
Simlandia.
Yeah, duh.
They speak Simlish there.
Don't you know
Simlish.
that?
Simlish.
Yeah, Simlish.
Aku Peppa. Yo Pando.
And
So
they
this
have...
is kind of interesting. So they obviously did this to avoid needing a lot of space for voice acting.
Yeah.
So voiceover.
Yeah. And notice how different ones of these people walking by have different ways of walking. when you're in Create a Sim, you can actually choose like feminine walk, whether or not it's a male or a female that you're creating, or they're just different ones. Ones where you can swagger, ones where you can kind of do what she's doing, just be all kind of flirty and adorable and cute.
What is with the terrain there that keeps sort of flashing color and stuff as it's...
Yeah, I did notice that. What is that?
I don't know.
So is this online at all?
No.
No.
So this is all local, like...
Yeah, I don't want to play with other people.
But you can if you wanted to.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I think there are some Facebook Sims games, which I played briefly, and they don't interest me that
And there was The Sims Online, which was a complete failure, despite Chris Klein's best efforts.
Oh, and notice Agent Handler. She's a secret agent, and I'm working toward having another friend here, so that I can try to get a promotion at work.
What?
You see the little, the job
Yeah,
icon there?
why is having additional friends a requirement for your secret agent job?
But that seems to be a throwback to Sims 2, because remember in Sims and Sims 2, you needed more friends as part of what you needed for promotion?
Yeah, I suppose that's...
But it doesn't do that for every promotion. Like, it's not... Have more friends for every promotion. There are different things.
I just want you to know that she just said Zubi.
Yeah.
And in Hebrew...
Yeah.
I can't tell you in English what Zubi means.
Oh.
Well, no.
Because it's not a very nice word.
Okay.
I have recognized words from languages that I know some of in Simlish.
I wonder if they did that just as...
Yeah,
fun.
they totally did that on purpose. Yeah.
So what is... See, like now the ground is yellow around that house? Like that big
Oh,
square?
it's because that's somewhere that if I were to step on that right there, I would actually need to go through a load screen.
Oh.
Any of the terrain around it, I can walk around, because there are things that you can collect, like things from plants,
and then it flashes back.
Dig up rocks or whatever. Yeah, it's because my cursor probably went there.
It's a little buggy. The game's a little buggy with it.
So there's no online...
No, that's not a bug. That's actually, it's to indicate to you that that's someplace you can travel to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it is flashing on. So it's flashing.
It's because my cursor is hovering over there whenever it does flash.
Oh, I see.
It's like, hey, you can go there, but it's gonna load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no online interaction at all. There's no kind of interactivity.
No, I think there's a community. I haven't taken a look at it. Again, where you can share your Sims and probably houses and stuff.
Right.
Just like in Sims 3.
So, but it's sort of kind of like the...
I think you don't even get bills until once a week, but they appear to be more expensive than in Sims 3.
Those bastards.
Because in Sims
inflation 3 and whatnot.
In Sims 3, it was once every 3 days you would get your bill.
I gotcha. Well, yeah, it's kind of like... well, it's not even... It's kind of like in a racing game if you could customize your vehicle and whatnot, and then have the AI race as you.
No, you don't even have vehicles in Sims 4.
No, I know, but as far as like the level of sharing that they have, it's not even where there's like AI algorithms and stuff like that or where it will race the way you race.
Oh, and
it's just based on however the sim is created.
So I'm about to, I think, tell her to go to another town, which you could not do in Sims 3. Because that's where the library is. There isn't a library in my town.
Right. Okay, so Sims 3, you had one big town, and that's where you stayed.
Unless you went on vacation, in which case you did sit through a long-ass load screen. But it was just one, and you had the entire vacation world to explore after you sat through it.
Yeah,
I kind of like this, I have to admit it.
This... And that load screen was...
It wasn't
noticeable,
bad.
But
it wasn't as long as
10 seconds.
Yeah.
I think with the three of us together talking, that load screen was really short.
Yeah.
I think if I was sitting down alone and I just wanted to do the next thing, I'd be like, come on, I just want to do something.
I'm just used to having like my phone or book or Kindle near me.
Yeah.
Oh, so Sims is like a secondary piece of entertainment.
Well, no. No.
It's like, what, an 80-20 kind of deal? Like, you have to spend 80% of your focus on the game, but 20% of it you can put elsewhere?
So if you just if you have a powerful computer...
Yeah.
you could kind of like do your stuff and then just.
That's another interesting point.
In the background, maybe.
Yeah, well, the thing is that the system requirements for this are not very high.
Yeah,
I think they might even be lower than 3.
I think they're lower than the requirements for Sims 3, and I think that might be partially due to the fact that they don't have to render that entire town at once.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So like a lot of low-end laptops can actually play it.
That could be dangerous if like all the Facebook and Twitter addicts find out.
Yeah, well, possibly. Well, you can't run it in your browser, so it's not as low end as just hopping onto Facebook. And yeah, I go to the library all the time and just talk to myself in the mirror.
Hey,
this is purely indicative.
It popped up. Okay.
I actually do that
all the time.
I'll have long ass conversations with me.
No, in the library.
In
the bathroom.
No, not in the library mirror.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
You're also supposed to be quiet there anyway, and I assume that if it's a bathroom in a library,
look, rewards,
even quieter.
Rewards people.
You know what I think is kind of. I don't quite understand. Why is there such a poor selection of reading material in the library bathrooms? That's what I want to know.
See, those are the rewards that are available if you weren't talking.
Those are rewards.
Yes. I don't want to get any of the things that are like a one-time use. I'm not going to waste points on that. I think that's stupid. But there are things like Speed Reader or Savant. Savant is the one that just the other day I had enough points to get for her. Where she learns things a lot faster.
All right, so and then the points, that's your simoleons, that's your money?
No, there's money, and then these are the points that you get for...
They are called simoleons, by the way.
Yeah, these are the points that you get for fulfilling desires. Okay. The little bubbles above her head.
All right, so if I had been paying attention, I would have known that already.
Yes, you would have.
All right, awesome. All right, and then why did we get these rewards all of a sudden? Because you filled up a skill thing, or...
I am actually doing this on purpose because I knew that I was recording it and I wanted to show people.
So you're showing everything?
Not all of them, but I mean, I'm looking at some of the ones that might.
Oh, and this is kind of like your first look of going through and seeing what rewards are available.
Yeah, I might have gone in here for a second before, but.
Great kisser.
So I'm kind of considering going to the other PC right now and buying
Fertile.
this. What
I got it.
Is this like a full price release? Like, is it like a $60 game?
It's
wasn't it?
It might be 60. Yeah.
Huh. I got like a special download from Origin that included a couple of add-ons.
Well, and the add-on situation, and so
I think it's because I pre-ordered though. Wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's partially because of pre-order, and then because they have you have your standard game, and then you have your digital deluxe edition. Same thing that we ran into with like Destiny.
And so these are her primary desires. Where it says fabulously wealthy, and
there's physical editions too. If you want to put it on your bookshelf or your game shelf.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
was that a llama? Or was that
I have to say, like a $60 game, like this would not be a $60 game for me. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that it takes a lot of work, and it looks like it's very robust, so it deserves to be $60. Yeah. But for me, I would probably. This is probably something that would go on my Amazon wish list, and I'd wait for it to drop to like 30 or 40.
And that's fine, because it's not the main kind of game that tends to interest you.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about that. So having played Sims, Cristina, for pretty much since the first Sims was released, and even playing some on console.
No, if you remember correctly, I didn't start playing Sims until I met you.
No, I know, but I mean, you played the original Sims games, and then Sims 2, and then Sims 3, and all the expansions.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that whole expansion model that they kind of operate on, and how do you expand your game, sort of traditionally, and then what are the features that we're getting in 4 that we didn't have in 3, and perhaps that we had in 3 but don't have in 4?
I'm still trying to figure out
Well, let's talk about just like how do you add more things to this? Because presumably this isn't all you'll ever be able to do in Sims.
Right. They've started taking the approach, starting mainly with Sims 3. I'm sure there were expansion packs for Sims 2 and such, but mainly with Sims 3 they started nickel and diming, essentially, with expansion packs and the Sims store, where you get either individual items or groups of items, like theme-wise, like for fairies, or whatever.
Okay.
And it just... I'm not happy about it. Also, I haven't looked yet to see if Mod The Sims is starting to figure out how to mod Sims 4, but they will at some point.
So Sims is a moddable game.
Sims 3 is... I haven't looked enough into how to go about doing that with Sims 4. Probably someone out there with more time than myself is working on that. Yeah, so there are mods, and there are just like items that people make, like clothing or musical instruments or whatever, objects. And I kind of I lean toward that rather than getting individual items off the Sims store, even though getting them directly off the Sims store, they're less likely to be glitchy and stuff. Just because I refuse to give that much money to them.
Okay, but the store was new for Sims 3?
Yeah.
And
there was an exchange, I think, for Sims 2.
Okay.
Like an official exchange for people to share what they've created with each other. But that was not at the level of the kind of items you could get on different websites, like Mod The Sims, and... I keep saying Mod The Sims. There are several others, but I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. So you...
Do you have to work?
Yeah. That's one big difference between Sims 3 and Sims 4.
Localizing into Simlish.
Yeah. One big difference between Sims 3 and Sims 4 is that in Sims 3, you could go to the building where you worked. Here, you go to, like, the road and disappear. Just like you would in,
2. Well...
did 2?
No, you didn't. Well, I think you... a car came and picked you up.
Right.
If you didn't have a car. Otherwise, you would get in your car and you would,
Right.
Yeah. And you would do that.
Well, anyway, in 1 and 2, you would just kind of leave the lot in some way and come back. Yeah. So they've brought that back. I don't know how I feel about that. I know that's probably part of the whole... So to kind of get back to the... Not having to run through the entire town thing.
Yeah, speaking of running through the town, that lady right there.
Oh yeah, if you tell them to go jogging, like they'll go for a certain distance and they'll pick their path. You don't have to point them where to go like you have to in Sims 3. So I kind of like that. You just tell them to go jogging, and you can like put some other things in their queue while they do that or something.
All right, so even back in Sims 2, EA would release expansion packs, which were these large content additions. You know, like you have a $60 game, just kind of start out with a $50, $60 game, and then you would get like a $30 expansion that would add maybe a place, another town, or a place to go to,
or functionality.
Yeah, and functionality,
or different races,
clothes, and stuff like. Yeah, they usually add like in 3. What they added, or no, 2 and 3, right? They added like one expansion had like a plant person that you could, and then aliens, vampires, werewolves, and it was just like one per expansion. All right, fine. And then it would also add things like, I remember in Sims 2 they added in the ability where you could go to college in one of them, and in 3 they added
which was its own little world.
Well, and I think in both 2 and 3 they did, in an expansion you got pets, right?
Yeah.
So right now, Sims 4 doesn't have the ability to do pets. Sims 3 didn't have pets at launch.
Crap.
Sims 3 didn't have pets at launch.
No,
Sims 2 didn't have pets at launch.
You know that they're gonna make that part of an expansion. It's in the works, just like any like magic related things.
That's your big thing, magic.
I like it. I'm sorry. I guess it's because this is like playing pretend, and what's more pretend than casting spells or biting people on the neck.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I just feel like Sims would be so suited for online.
Yeah, well, and I mean, so did EA, but they tried it and it didn't work out for them. So
even if it's like mostly a single player game, but you can like phone somebody in another Sims world and just hang out with them in their world, or
well, no, and the thing is, Sims 3 had that. I didn't know anybody who played Sims 3, nor did I want to. So I didn't really do any of that.
You're very reclusive Sim.
Yeah.
What just happened?
I'm not sure.
You talked her to death?
No, I think it was that buzzer that I used.
You shocked her?
Uh-huh.
So she's butt up in the air. Who is in your house?
I don't know. This lady she's one of my friends. I don't remember her name.
What?
She keeps visiting.
Is that a wedding dress?
I think it is. I think she might have a crush on me. I don't know.
What? So she's trying to drop hints?
No.
Like putting on a wedding dress and showing up in your house?
I'm ready.
Can you call the cops?
Let's go.
Oh, and then the price of whatever you're making for dinner goes down with each ingredient, each component of it that you happen to have as an ingredient in your inventory.
Which you buy ingredients separately, or?
You know, I don't think there's a grocery store.
Okay, so how do you get ingredients?
I found different plants.
What?
You can also.
How'd you have it there?
Did you go to the church?
No, that's my house.
Oh, that's your house?
I just put the full wall view up.
Oh, yeah.
For a second. There are 3 views. There's the
so
one
she's not in your house. That's outside your house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's the one that cuts away
confused.
the front of it and leaves the back walls up. There's the one that just removes the walls, and then the one that just leaves all the walls up.
Oh, okay. I thought the woman just appered inside your house with a wedding dress on, and I was like, well, that's kind of creepy.
That was my porch.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's cool then. So now you're just having kind of a dinner party?
Yeah, and apparently the other lady recovered and has now come in to have a conversation and perhaps enjoy some food.
Well, and I think right here I just realized that I have to call them to the meal. They won't just take the food.
They won't just eat. No, the woman in the wedding dress will go and put your books away, but they won't just eat. Okay, well that makes sense. Because I know the first thing I did when I got here was go ahead and put books back on a shelf here in Amir's house. So, or wherever we are.
So I see you fast forwarding a lot of stuff.
Yeah. You kind of have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a long-term game.
Otherwise, the activity takes a very, very long time. Is that right?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, unless things are happening in quick progression. One interesting thing about this, I like this, is you can stack certain things that are able to happen at the same time, like eating and talking. You can actually, they'll show up in that little shaded part on the left there, where all the actions are stacked. And if there's something that can't happen at the same time as what you're doing right now, it'll just stay at the top. So it'll happen right after whatever you're doing right now finishes.
That's cool. I'm actually on my cell phone. I'm trying to find The Sims 4 to see what the pricing is like. So.
Yeah,
it's probably about
$60.
Yeah. Because it just came out, basically.
There's a premium edition. I don't know what that is. I'm going to look at that now.
Yeah, the premium edition. I think one of them comes with a little plumb bob, like a physical plumb bob that you can...
A Creator's Guide hardcover book.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Up
one
all night
interesting
digital content.
Yeah.
I like that.
One interesting thing about creating, which I haven't tried yet because I just kind of moved her into this house already created, is that you can choose to make things one wall at a time, put things in one by one, or you can use a pre-created room as to just kind of put things together.
Oh, it's like rooms to go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're sitting on a couch for rooms to go.
Or you can do a combination of that, I think. There's a way of, like, putting a room in and maybe getting rid of a chair and replacing it with something, I don't know.
So is there anything similar to Sims 4?
No pun intended.
Is there anything similar to Sims 4 where I could get the online component?
Not that is a quote-unquote, like, AAA heavy development title. No one else really does Sims.
So this is AAA?
Yeah. I mean, this is, so Maxis, EA Maxis is who develops this. Is the same development
that seems very satisfying.
So this is one thing that's always
SimCity.
Thing that's always annoyed me about Sims is the little pixelation. And I realize if you take away the pixelation, they're just fully clothed, but it just seems it takes away from the suspension of disbelief for me. It's not that I want to see them naked, but it's just... Yeah. It doesn't ring true. And I always click save whenever I send them to bed because of my previous experience with Sims crashing all the time.
Very crashy. It acts like a sim going to bed and crashes.
So to my point before, I saw you fast forwarding things. So you can have these activities going on, even though they take an extremely long amount of time. But let's say, I'm working on editing a video, and I want to just have an activity going on in the background. I could just do that, then come back to it whenever I'm in between.
Yeah, sure.
Edits. I just click on it and it fast forwards, do another task, go back.
Yeah. Or you could even just pause it, like if there is a lot going on for your sim right then, but you feel like you just pause.
Or if you feel like you need to sit there and plan something out before you start making them do things, because they have a particular lifespan, and time.
Oh, so they die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Eventually, yeah.
That's why I use.
How do you cope with that?
Make another sim.
Yeah, you make another sim, or you have them get married and have children, and then you just keep controlling their children.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, that's cool. Now I want Sims 4.
Yeah, there's genetics. Like the children inherit your genetics.
Because rendering, sometimes like I'll render a video and that could take like hours.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just don't even plan on it and I have like nothing else to do for those couple of hours and I'm just like, it'd be cool.
So you're not going to be playing Destiny during
and
that
in
time.
Create a Sim, I gave her hips.
Maybe for the hours.
Right.
You can actually... I probably should do another video for this, for just the Create a Sim. You can actually, while you're making them, grab like the outside of the hip and pull out or in or whatever to change the shape of everything.
Oh, for the Create a Sim.
Yeah,
when you're creating a new sim.
Yeah, there are like templates of different kinds of faces, but then once you've done that, you can modify it by just pulling and pushing and tugging at things.
So speaking of which,
that part is pretty cool.
How are the character models compared
that you couldn't do before? Huh?
How are the character models compared to the previous editions? Would you say? I mean, are they more detailed, less detailed? Is the animation, kind of more lifelike, fluid?
I think they're more detailed. Also, they don't seem to need to when you tell it go talk to this person. They don't seem to need to be directly in front of them and get frustrated that they can't get directly in front of them. Anyone who's ever played Sims will understand what I'm saying. With the little thought bubble will get an X in it, and then they'll stomp their feet on the floor, and then they'll just not do it. You can actually have like another person between you and be talking, or you can be not directly in front of each other and be talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that works now.
And and I've also heard that you can kind of multitask in this one. Is that?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
Where you can whatever
those gray bars on the bottom left.
Whatever it'll allow you to do at the same time stays inside that white shaded area
on
the
left.
All right. And then the rest of the activities that you stack on stay on the top if they can't be done at the same time.
All right. So once again, if I've been paying attention.
Indeed.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
You got to do something about this bathroom. I mean, every time you take a shower, you get a mop.
Yeah, that's pretty crappy.
That would piss me off.
Yeah, I could just not mop. It would eventually dry out.
So you start out with a limited amount of money, and you have to buy a house and all that. You know how that is.
And you can get the house furnished or unfurnished. I usually go for furnished because I don't feel like spending that much mental energy at the very beginning on getting things. As I, earn money later on, I'll change things out for better quality stuff. But
so really, you have to. It's and it is kind of like life that way. Except you're starting out with pretty much you're making enough to get by, and then you get a couple of promotions, and then you start making more than you're spending. At which point you can start upgrading to better stuff. But you're gonna start out with pretty crappy furniture. And
notice that bed there on the right.
Like the couch you're sitting on.
With the gray, light gray, dark gray shading in the background on the right.
Way over the right.
That is actually a reward item for something.
Oh.
It's something I recently figured out.
Okay.
So as you level up in your career or just different things like that, depending on which career you're in, you either get access to be able to buy a particular thing, it gets unlocked, or it'll be put in your family inventory. If it's like an out-and-out reward. This is a planter box.
Yeah, and you're doing this because she had a thing. She had a little bubble over there that said plant something. Now, why would she have a plant something as a thing that you needed to have her do? What determines that?
She's inspired right now. Oh, okay. Gardening is one of the things, one of the kinds of things that it wants you to do sometimes when you're inspired. Gardening and music and just different creative things.
Well, is that based on?
So you can either if you've picked up fruit or anything, you could plant that, but I haven't yet at this point.
Okay.
So you can click on the planter box and pay for a starter packet of flowers, fruit, herbs, or vegetables.
Okay.
And I object to the word fruits. Just
now
on the record.
She's feeling inspired, so she's gardening. Is that like a trait specific to that sim that you created, or like can you create? Can you actually say, okay, when I'm inspired, I want to, I don't know.
You know, I don't remember. I don't remember if I made her a green thumb, or if that's something in The Sims 4. What did I do? I know I made her love music. And she's driven to want to earn money, which is why her primary goal in life is to be filthy rich. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I don't think I gave her a gardening thing. So it only lets you put one item in there if it's going to become a tree. It lets you put up to 4 items in a planter box. In this planter box, I think there are other ones that don't allow more than one. You can put up to 4 of non-tree type things in a planter box instead.
Were you excited that they put plantains and not bananas?
I was ecstatic because I want to at some point make some fried plantains.
In Sims?
Yeah.
Have you looked up to see if you
I
can
don't
do that?
know. I don't know. I need to look it up. There's probably some crazy gourmet thing that they use the plantains for that isn't even anything I've ever heard of.
So you acquired the gardening skill.
Yeah. So instead of, like in Sims 3, you're only able to see that you have a particular skill once you've gotten a full level 1 in it. But in this one, the moment you start doing it, it allows you to see how far along you are in it. Mm-hmm. Which I like that.
That's nice.
However, like in Sims 3, there were different achievements within the different skills that you could shoot for. I don't think, if that exists here, you can't check on that by clicking on the different skills. You just you can see the meter, basically, that's all.
Excuse me, Mom?
Of how far along you are.
Gotcha. So, I guess it's one of the more addictive qualities here is as you get more money and you get more of those sort of desires, then you start looking at your inventory and trying to find things for your Sims to do and interact with, right? And then it's just kind of fun to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Like the violin. Now, why'd you buy the violin? I missed that part.
It's because she wanted a musical instrument, and I believe that was the cheapest one.
Of course. Because, yeah, you're under 2,000 simoleons.
Yeah. She wants an easel now. I think there are 2? No, there's more than 2.
Now, do you have various schedules for work? I say work because obviously you're going to have to make money at some point. So, are there days of the week that you have to work on certain days and then not on others, or?
Yeah, and it sometimes changes whenever you get promoted. The times of day and days of the week that you actually work.
All right.
And, this house was pre-filled with, a small bedroom in this room, but I'm changing it to being, an activity room of some kind.
Oh, okay.
So I'm putting those in my inventory for the moment. I could sell them, but at this point, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get rid of them.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I see. With the easel and the violin. You really should put that on a table. Why don't you put that on a table? Just buy a little cheap little stand, stool, table.
It's because I'm eventually going to put it in my personal inventory.
Oh, okay. Personal inventory?
Yeah, there's a family inventory which can be accessed from build or buy mode. I can't remember. They just call it build mode now. But
yeah.
And then there's a personal inventory that you access. That's what we're looking at in the bottom right.
Sure.
So at some point, I'm going to just click on the violin and say put in inventory so that she can just have it on her.
Oh, so if you put it in inventory, she'll like put it in her pocket?
Yeah. Yeah, she puts gigantic things in her pocket.
Can you put ice cream in her pocket?
Probably.
And then you can eat it later.
In New York. Just saying.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a law. It's
you can't put ice cream in your pocket?
You can't put ice cream in your pocket.
It's
one of those ridiculous laws that.
What's the penalty?
I don't
know.
I would love to know the story behind that.
Cold pants?
That's a good question. I was more amazed at the law.
Yeah, that it even exists.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what the punishment is. It's just like public flogging for having ice cream, for having, Rocky Road in your shorts.
Well, and right now she's playing.
She needs a stereo.
She's playing beautifully on the violin.
She loves music, but she really clearly, after seeing her with the piano and now with the violin, she needs to stop trying. She needs to just listen to the radio and enjoy music.
No, Amir, you have to be encouraging of your sim. Because if you're not, then how are they going to get better?
Yeah, how are they ever going to learn?
Have kids and hope that your kid is better.
No, this is a legitimate skill that she has to build out.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Your lover is back.
Oh. And that is your porch, so she's cool.
Yeah. She's only made it to your front door.
She really needs to stop wearing the wedding dress while she visits friends, though. It's still creepy.
It's a bit much. Trying a little too hard. So when
I'm getting married again today.
Eventually the dress is all brown and just
no. What happens is the reason she's always around is because she's homeless, and she ran away from her wedding, and that's the only piece of clothing she has. People, why do you have to be so mean?
Because her family won't take her back.
I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
Well, but that's.
Do you learn anything about characters when you have those discussions, or is it just like no?
You learn their traits.
Okay.
As you go on. You can also learn as a secret agent, which is what I am. You can actually learn some traits by investigating them on the computer.
You can do background checks on other Sims. That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
The Future's Past.
Which is the name of the lot.
So what is this? Some sort of like bar?
No, I think this is actually a museum.
Oh, it's a museum. Oh, The Future's Past. I get it.
She wants to see a work of art or a piece of art on the left there.
And then there's so we have some busts there to go along with the busts.
They all look exactly the same except for the shade.
All right.
Well, that's art.
There we go.
Exactly.
Fantastic. That's so great. Now, I'm not sure about these toilet pieces here. I don't think that they really add to the overall presentation.
Yeah, I think they actually look pretty shitty.
Oh, I see what you did there. So, now, if you're a sim and your plumb bob falls in the toilet, what do you do? Wait, are these communal bathrooms? Because there's a party going on in there.
And there's only like 2 toilets. What's going on? The one toilet, is that a wall in between?
Yeah, it's a wall in between.
And you can go between
ocean
levels if there are stairs with those up and down arrows in the top right there.
Maybe now that party's going on in the bathroom is a good time to discuss why women go to the bathroom together or in groups.
I suppose.
Christina, can you please shed some light?
I don't know because I'd rather not do that. If I happen to be with women, they'd like to tag along with me, and I just feel weird telling them no. So, but I think they do it, other women, because they enjoy spending time with each other. Also to talk about the people they're with.
Gotcha.
And there's also more activities in the bathroom that have to be taken care of, right? Or that can be, like touching up makeup and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So you can do that without, popping your little pocket mirror out and checking it at the table or
realizing that you forgot
you
all your tampons and then asking your buddy if they have any.
I wasn't going to bring that part up, but hey, I was just going to insinuate. We'll just
Stuff like
go straight into it.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what. Yeah. Really just kind of stuff that one in there. All right. So there's another what is it? Hurting bits. Now, see, the other thing that Maxis is good at, the thing that Maxis is the best at, is putting those little bits down at the very bottom of their loading screens. Because, like SimCity, it'll be like herding llamas, reticulating splines.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the greatest loading lines.
In case you don't know, llamas are a big thing in Sims.
In Sims.
Ever since Sims 1.
SimCity, Sims.
Oh, yeah. All the Sims.
It's all about the llama.
The baseball teams, the llamas.
And here's where I'm realizing
it's like Sid to Final Fantasy.
Here's where I realized that I couldn't put another plant in that planner, and I was looking it up.
Yeah, so you learned a lesson. I get this. Yeah.
So I'm flipping through it and reading it.
I'm getting a Mystery Science Theater flashbacks right now.
What? Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, that's kind of what we're doing. You ought to have little shadows, little,
I think this is better than if I had just recorded myself talking as I was doing it.
Because it would have been like, now I'm looking at the lessons to find out why I can't plant anything in this planner. God, this is so... Now, and the other thing is, if you had done the commentary, you might have gotten interrupted by a real toddler.
Yeah.
But there are no toddlers in this game. Is that right?
That's true. There are no toddlers in this game.
So how do you have children?
No, you have babies who become children and are never toddlers.
Yeah.
But there's probably going to be added later on with an expansion pack.
Yeah.
Probably a family expansion.
Like pets. So you don't have pets. You don't have toddlers.
Whatever.
You don't have pools
it's
either.
Starting to sound like NHL
I don't know, Amir.
15.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, Amir, you should wait until they come out with the first thing where they put the base game in with 2 expansion packs.
Yeah.
You should probably wait till that one.
So the Game of the Year edition.
Probably. Well,
or something.
No, well, they usually do what? Every 6 months they release an expansion. So
is it that frequent?
Yeah. Generally, well, yeah, because it's like every... So this is
okay. So I've now done everything except like gotten enough work performance. So I have to wait until I go to work before I can get promoted.
The release schedule tends to be, 3 months after an expansion comes out, you have a stuff pack, and a stuff pack is basically a collection of items around a centralized theme.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff. It's not generally a new location, although with 3. They did sell sort of half expansions that were just a new location that you could send your Sims to.
Yeah, like Pirate Bay or something.
Or Monte Vista or whatever it was.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, there was some pretty interesting items in some of these places that did add to gameplay, like Dragon Valley. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, the magic and
little
stuff.
dragons.
So you have... these stuff packs that just add little items, but then you have, and those usually come out like in between expansions. Expansions come out roughly every 6 or so months, I would say. So probably this time next year, there will be 1 or 2 expansions available with a couple of stuff packs on top of all of the content that's available on the Sims store that you can download digitally. So, and at that point, then they'll start to bundle things together. Now, just a quick heads up, it'll still be $60, but that $60 will get you 1 or 2 expansions.
Right, you'll get more
in a year. So, and then generally, when did Sims 3 release? Was it
I don't remember.
It was like 9?
I don't know.
09?
I don't know. You're the history buff. I don't remember these dates and such.
Well, history's about a lot more than just dates.
I know that. I understand.
What's this guy?
It's Marty McFly.
My character has apparently flirted with him before, so you get another bar. That's a romantic bar that's separate from the friend bar, which is different from what they've done in the past. In the past, if you start flirting with someone, like the nature of the entire relationship changes, but it's a single bar. In this one, it's 2 separate ones, depending on the interactions.
So you can friend zone them.
Oh yeah,
that's why.
You just don't flirt with them, or you flirt with them and then you tick them off.
Flirt with them and then throw them into the friend zone.
Yeah, it was 2009. February 2009 was Sims 3. So that was a 5-year. So Sims is it's essentially on a console release cycle. So every 5 years you get a new Sims game, and
Well, if it's AAA,
a bunch of expansions. Oh yeah.
Do we know what their budget is for this? Is it like comparable with like the big AAA titles, like an Infamous or a Mass Effect?
I don't know what the budget is for Maxis, but the thing is that Maxis only makes a few games, and it's mostly around the Sims franchise, SimCity or Sims, and that's pretty much. This is one of the big games.
Why did Sims Online fail? Was it just not built well, or?
I don't know. That's one that I never actually played myself.
Huh.
I'm not really sure.
Because I'm looking at it, and the only thing that turns me off about this game is that it's not online, so it has less meaning, I guess.
Well, but yeah, so you can download characters that other people have made, and that would be the limit of your interaction anyway, is just interacting with other characters.
I mean, it's entirely possible that they'll add in a component later on, because with The Sims 3, the component that allows you to send your character to a friend's Sims town was added later on. It wasn't part of the original game. So just given the world we're in today, they're probably going to add something at some point.
Yeah.
Just like with everything else, though, they're going to make it part of an expansion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all with the way they parse things out. On purpose.
So, yeah, it's not easily available. I'm sure if we looked through EA's, financials, we could find out what has been allocated to Maxis, but they did cite the development budget as reasons for why certain features didn't make it into the game. Steve! God, this is like, what is that? This is a commercial for, is it Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or whatever? There's a new commercial out where people are saying, two people come up to a third and they're just like, Zamzadoo Bam Bam. And the other person's just like, what? and it's catch up on the shows everybody's watching so you can be in the know. And at the end, it's the guy who turns on his TV and goes to the service, and he's just like, oh.
That's a direct reference to Bazinga, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess it's something like that. So, anyway, yeah. That just reminded me of that. But
yeah, you see that plant sparkling there?
There's my search just disappeared.
That's something that I could harvest from and actually plant sage in one of my planters.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's some sage advice. Sorry. Anyway.
And I kept wanting to click on the damn butterflies, but you can't. You can't collect them. You can in Sims 3.
Oh.
It makes me sad.
Well, see, and that's the reason why nobody's buying Sims 4 is because you can't collect butterflies.
I know.
It's the most requested feature.
You can
confirmed.
You can collect frogs, though, and fish. I haven't fished yet, but you can fish.
According to our completely unscientific survey of one, the most requested feature is to be able to catch butterflies.
Yeah, sure.
Magical butterflies. Okay.
And I can't harvest from this one right now because there's nothing.
She's beating around the bush, basically.
You're horrible.
I know! This is a wild sage bush.
Hey.
That's a plantain plant. Growing into a tree. It'd be a beautiful, strong tree. This is wild. Sarah has learned...
Yeah, and you can see the history of all the notifications that it's giving you up to about 200, at which point it tells you to clear them out. Or it won't give you any more.
Well, that's horrible. Why doesn't it just delete the oldest one?
Or at least have an option to kind of turn that on and off.
So it'll probably be DLC.
Yeah. Well, all right, so the other issue with... one of the things with Sims... Sims Online, I know, is that there just wasn't... it was too much social, and not enough people actually bought into it. You didn't have, I think, all of the options, and there was no you didn't have as much control, I think, over the environment. Plus, people had to be online for you to actually interact with them. Mm-hmm. So there was no kind of offline mode for the persistence of your Sims, if I remember correctly. So you had to coordinate and be online in order to interact. And if none of your friends were online,
that breaks it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so then you really didn't have anything to do. So you had to be able to, and so this was, I want to say this was years ago. Where, let's see, let me look through here. I want to say it was 2004, I think. I think Sims Online came out, was the next big project, even while Sims 2 was the primary. They may be a little early. Let's see.
Well, that's what you freaking get for tossing your wine bottle in the air. What an idiot.
There will be additional fun and social gameplay elements for players who choose to go online. More to come on that later on, but the core game is designed to be played offline. This is for Sims 4, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So wait, I'm sorry, read that again?
They're going to add an online component, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, they're going to add more social gameplay.
Okay.
More to come on that. That's from the Sims 4 FAQ. Now, as far as The Sims Online. To the wikis! Wiki. No. Oh, it was even earlier. 2002.
Oh, and these different kinds of showers will give you different moodlets. Thoughtful shower will get you inspired. Steamy shower will get you steamy. And then brisk shower will get you energized. So there's a way of like influencing, like forcing some of these moodlets.
Okay, mixed reviews. Busting out. Free.
Yeah, I think she's French.
Now then, Bobo. Not if she created her. No, she's not. Definitely not. She'll die before she creates a French sim. Won't you?
How about the other Sims in the world? Can you create them?
You can create more than one sim. You create a whole bunch of Sims and you can have them live in the same town, but you can't replace all of the Sims that are created.
These are...
oh, no, that's what I meant, like adding Sims
I think
to the world.
Not all of these people that walk in front of my house have actual houses that I can find on the map. Mm-hmm. Some of them are just flat out NPCs. That was actually Cassandra Goth.
That was who?
For the Goths?
Yeah.
They've been in it forever.
They've been in every single Sims game. The Goths. Cassandra Goth, Bella Goth, and I don't remember the guy's name. But she was a little tiny little girl in Sims 1, and she's gotten slightly older with each Sims game. She looks like she's a young adult here.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess the biggest problem in The Sims Online, to go back to that...
So she's at work right now.
...was that there wasn't enough incentive to actually interact with other people.
This is about to end when she comes home, I think.
So most of what people did was to they would just do activities to increase their skills. So you didn't get a big boost from interaction.
Yay, field agent.
There was a simulated economy in there though. Interesting. So
yeah, I think I would say the big killer would be that if you had to wait for somebody else to be online for them to interact, that would be the big issue.
The Sims Online looks like it lasted until 2008.
So 6 years? Did you say 2002?
Mm-hmm.
6 years is not bad. For 2002.
disappointment in sales over the lifetime of the game. One of the main criticisms of the game was the inability to create customized content. It was widely seen as a failed attempt to port the single-player game.
Wait, was that the whole video?
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
I made myself stop there. It was about an hour at that point.
Oh, well, yeah, I meant to kind of time it so we could...
Is it still recording?
Yeah. Well, our audio is still recording.
Yeah, our audio is still recording, so, yeah.
Well, I guess that's it.
I guess that's it, then.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, should we wrap it up? We'll wrap it up?
Put a bow on it?
Put a bow on it. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.